it really is what it's all about. My mom died. I wasn't there, but I saw her 2 or 3 days before. But I didn't get, closure. But I went to her memorial. I know what happened to her, and I can't, for the life of me, imagine not knowing, and then the circus of what it possibly could be.
Well, John, I'm going to ask you again.
Sure.
Okay, for tape purposes, could we please have your first, last name, spelling,
Yes.
and who you are?
Yes, sir. John Phillips, JohnPhillips. I'm the attorney for the family, the blood family of Don Lewis, as well as Ann McQueen.
And what type of attorney are you specifically?
Yeah, so I generally am a wrongful death civil rights attorney. I'm board certified in civil trial litigation, which is the civil side, which means not criminal, but my law firm does family law and criminal defense work as well.
If you could please break down the lawsuit for us. What is this lawsuit?
Yeah, it's unusual. Normally lawyers get up there and they file a complaint for damages and say, we're going to get $100 million, even though they don't ever have to say that. They say it. And this is, right now, it's not about the money. It's about information. And so literally we're suing for information. And some might say, well, why do you have to sue for information, right? Why do you have to get the court system involved? And it's because somebody doesn't have to provide information unless a judge tells them to. And so we're basically invoking the power of the court to make sure we can take depositions, send out subpoenas, get document requests and all of that to see what there is to be seen, filter through it, and determine who the victims are here and what happened to Don Lewis.
So please forgive me for this, because I am not an attorney.
That's okay.
I didn't know that you could actually sue for something like this. So what is this called?
Yeah, so it's called a pure bill of discovery. So discovery is the process of exchange of information in a court proceeding.
I'm going to ask you that again. I'm sorry.
That's
Was it
fair.
correct? Yeah. I'm so sorry about that.
No, this is not my first rodeo.
I know, I can tell. You're very well spoken. So, John, again, could you please explain this? Because I didn't even know you could even, what is this?
Right. So it's called a pure bill of discovery. The bill means it's a complaint. It's something that you're petitioning the court. Discovery is the process of exchange of information in a court proceeding. So we're literally suing the information to obtain it. And it's not common. Normally people sue for damages or sue to keep people apart, right? But there's equity, which this isn't a court of equity. It's one of the first lines. That means fairness. And this is for the court to intervene and see what's fair and what information should be exchanged.
Wow. So what do you hope will happen with this?
I mean, in a perfect world, I would hope Carol Baskin, Kenny Farr, Susan Arnoff, the people named and people not named would give us a call at 1-800-LITIGATE, give the tip line a call, reach out to me in any way and say, let's sit down and exchange what we have. Deal with this as professionals, agree to depositions and all of that. If we can't agree, we got to get a referee in to make decisions. That referee is a judge. And we have subpoena power to require depositions under oath. They have the right to object to that. We're just seeing what the court will say.
So legally now, Carol would have to answer to this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got to serve it on her. So we've got to actually formally present it to her. It was filed Friday. We're in the process of that. Once she's served with it, she can file a motion to dismiss or whatever. But at some point soon, we're going to serve her with a deposition notice to require her to sit down for a deposition in the short term. We can negotiate with COVID how that's going to happen. But the intent is to get information from her and to do so in a polite, professional manner, and see what's myth and what's fact.
So, how is the family doing at this point?
Yeah, so it's been 23 years next week, and the family at some point, I think, found closure in not being able to find closure. You know, they always wanted and hoped a tip would call in, but nobody really seemed to care as much anymore. There's the old saying about friends may keep secrets, but secrets don't keep friends, or something like that. And apparently enough of the friends kept enough of the secrets. Well, then Tiger King happened, and we were all at home because of COVID, and we all watched it. I watched it as a fan. My wife did. Put the kids to bed and sneak in some Tiger King. And it was so sensational and so over the top that it captured millions and millions of people. And then interest came back up, and so tips came back up. People want to solve this cold case, and so that ignited the family to try to find answers. And they hired me, and we'll see what there is to be seen. If we're in the same place, they didn't lose anything. If we figured it out, I think a nation wins. I think everybody wins. Except for the people that had something to do with this. I don't know why you wouldn't want honesty and truth to come out.
Absolutely. And ultimately, as you said, that this is not about money, it's about answers.
Right.
But could there be down the line civil lawsuits? I know there's a cap, I believe, governments that they can only receive up to $200,000.
Yeah, but there's ways in Florida to get around the cap too. But they hired a civil litigator. I've got those swords in the sheath, right? But I don't know if I want to find out that somebody's responsible that's living that we can go after, or if I just want to find out that there was a reasonable explanation for all of this that we've just sensationalized because it was in the dark. And either way, I'm not here to have opinions yet. I'm not here to bring sensation to it. I'm here just to ask questions. I'm here to be professional and try to sit down and work things through, because there's been a lot of, my mama called it nye, a lot of negativity and hate and disdain. And I'm like okay, I get it. But what you're doing, family, is you're hiring somebody that wants to start with, I said tenderness and love during the speech, but start with equity, fairness, and see what we can find to agree to. And then if we can't agree, then we're going to get into, aggressive seeking of information and lawsuits for damages. But right now, we don't even know enough to figure out, is this a wrongful death case, a defamation case, a contract case? What is it?
And so, I don't suppose we can ask to go with you when you serve Carol?
No, I don't suppose you can. I mean, you can ask, but I'm not serving her. I'll be back to Tampa. I obviously am headed to a funeral this afternoon. I've got to be there for tomorrow's funeral. And so, but I'll be back towards the end of the week. Those things tend to happen with process servers that they got a job to do. I don't go. I actually can't serve the complaint. I'm involved, and I don't have a personal vendetta here. I want to see answers, or if there's not going to be answers.
My last question, unless you have something to add, the $100,000 reward. Wow. I mean, so this is an anonymous reward from someone?
That's my understanding. I don't have much to do with. I don't have anything to do with the reward. I came in after that GoFundMe and all started, and I hope to benefit from information that comes from the reward, but I don't have any dog in that fight. I care because I appreciate that it's another sword in the sheath, but I don't know much about it, and I hope it leads to somebody coming forward. Like the attorney offering pro bono services. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I hope that helps, but I'm an optimist until told otherwise. I hope somebody comes forward because it's been so long and it's the right thing to do, and maybe the people they were afraid of are dead, or maybe they'll just tell me a secret that we can try to figure out. what that secret leads to. I've already had secrets. I've already explored places, just this weekend, and I'm hoping things. It's like a match to a fuse. I'm hoping we get that match that travels on down, and we have a good firecracker at the end of this thing.
Awesome. Is there anything you would like to add that I didn't ask you?
No, I mean you covered it well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would love to have you as a guest on my podcast too.
Sure, I'd love